Hello and welcome to Understanding Narcissists. Thank you so much for joining me. In this episode, I want to talk about something so rudimentary, so basic, that I don't want you to become bored with it because it might be such an obvious fact and reality to you regarding narcissists and their behavior that you may find of no interest at all. And I think I've covered it piecemeal throughout different videos, and therefore, even if I've never touched it directly, it's been sort of pieced together over time on this channel. And that is the two faces of the narcissist. Now, I want to qualify that statement by saying narcissists have a lot of different sides. Different narcissists have different sides and different sides of their personalities and different facets within their life, kind of behavioral modes to suit the circumstances, to suit the situation. So I don't want to imply that there's just two faces to the narcissist as a direct application, that's the only case, that's all it is, and there's nothing else to it. There are two distinct modes of a narcissist, broadly speaking. And that is the narcissist that is engaging in the illusion and the superficial emotions and the things going on within the illusion that you have to deal with, that other people around them have to deal with, how you interact with them on a daily basis. What the narrative is, who they are, who you are, the whole story that you wrap up into, and then there's the reality. Now, the thing that separates these two worlds is how people are currently buying the illusion, whether they're believing in it. Because the problem with that sort of grinding sensation you feel under a narcissist's abuse, how it keeps just kind of wearing you down until something breaks. Narcissists are somewhat suited to that and somewhat adapted to breaking people down so they can get a response that they want out of them. But you don't want something that threatens the whole basis of their beliefs and what's going on in their lives. The illusion itself. You don't want that to break, you see. And so if it goes too far, then there's that reality of the kind of emotional floodgates open and everything changes for that moment. So when I say two faces of the narcissist, that's what I mean. The face they put on when things are okay, when things are working out as they would like, and when there's that necessary and inevitable breakdown that follows from their behavior that they have to pin on you. That's when things open up in the truth, somewhat. I want to be careful and judicious with my use of that word, starts to sort of come forward. How people actually feel what's going on during that breakdown period. Now, this breakdown period is still essentially connected with the illusion, the whole abuse cycle. It's not something that's completely unique to a narcissist or special to them, in that every narcissist will have it. Other abusive people have it. They have that broken moment where they come forward. The problem is the narcissist is less candid. I think they use it as an additional method of control, where it seems like they're coming forward and they're being honest, when they're really not. They're just going to readjust so they can start up the whole thing again. The real point I'm trying to drive home with this topic is that it is not entirely within their control, even though sometimes it appears that it is. They are not really in control. For videos I'm going to go into a bit later about safety and security and their feeling of self-control over their own environment. It's not something that they plan or control. Really, you control it. They may try to bank on it when it happens, but it's not something that they are driving and directing and manipulating directly. Another distinction I want to make is the emotional breakdown period where you kind of have it out with them and you two go back and forth, and it's supposed to be a moment of sort of unleashing of pent-up feelings, and the actual real breakdown that narcissists can go through where they become dangerous. That's a completely different thing. Unfortunately, that's probably the truest part of them that you will ever see, is that rage response that you will get out of nowhere, or when certain things coalesce at that time, sort of become coincidental, and they simply cannot take it. It's a little bit anomalous, so I can't give you a point-by-point breakdown of when it will happen, because when I've seen it happen in my life, I've been unable to read it. It does have some qualities where you can sort of see it coming, but the problem is you can see conflicts coming. You can see issues coming up in the future, days or even weeks in advance with a narcissist. You know that they're planning something. You know that they need to have some kind of battle with you, some kind of dramatic fight for whatever reason. The dangerous phase they can go through when they're really feeling threatened and insecure, their kind of own personal breakdown, which is real and different from the one I'm talking about with the two phases of a narcissist, because this is special in this case. It does have some signs that it's coming, but there's not really a way to predict it. For one thing, it's not something that they can control, and they don't know that it's coming per se. It's just something that happens. They are reacting to something, and you may not be able to figure out what that something is. Why? I don't know. I don't know why that is. However, it is as real as anything, and it is always present. It is always something to take into consideration. Now, naturally, you can do things to try to prevent it. This sort of phase and threat to you, if you're aware of what sets them off. But sometimes, like I say, it's anomalous. You're not going to be able to pick up on it easily. So, to sort of recapitulate here, you do see on a daily basis that first phase, which is the illusion's narrative. Everything is fine. There are problems, but it's this certain superficial game that you have to play every day. Then, naturally, because it is not sustainable, there is a period of some kind of breakdown. They'd like to pin that on you. They need to have that release somewhat themselves, but they don't really want to initiate themselves. They'd rather have you do it. So you can sort of feel those bad feelings for them. And somehow, vicariously, it works. It sustains them within that cycle. They're not going to break out of the cycle, but they will continue doing that ad nauseum, probably over the course of their entire lives. Then the breakdown and the threats associated with the breakdown, which is when they can become dangerous. Different thing, but not always. There are connectives there. There are times when it can become a very unpleasant surprise. I wish I could give you more pointers in this area, but this is where it becomes somewhat unique to the narcissist. You don't really know when they're going to do it and what they're going to be like when it happens. I will say that I think all narcissists do it from what I can tell, but I can't follow it. I can't trace it. And so that's when it comes down to you trying to put these principles together, what I'm trying to convey to you the best I can, so you can try to figure out the best you can. That's really the only way I've been able to figure it. And again, I hope this video is not too redundant, like it's such an obvious thing that that's the case. But it's kind of a macroscopic way of looking at it, where you really can break it down, practically speaking, without going into all the psychology and what I think about this or that, what happened to them when they were kids, or whatever. This is real. This is a core part of narcissists as the experience. And the two faces are such a, that dichotomy is what makes them so unique. The way they execute it, because they have that superficial face. And upon breakdown, it is probably one of the clearest indicators of a narcissist you'll ever see. Now, other people have breakdowns, as I say, but the narcissist is so unique because of the way it relates to the illusion, because they're so bound up in the illusion and trying to get you bound up in it. So when that break occurs, you're kind of liberated in a sense because you realize something else is going on, and somewhere in your mind, you know it's coming again. You're getting into that groove and you know what's happening. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it beneficial in some way. Like it if you do. Share it with somebody you think might benefit from it. Also, in the comment section below, tell me what you think and tell others about your experiences and what you think of this issue and how you've been able to deal with it and when you first noticed narcissist or narcissists you know doing it and how you handle it, how you came upon it, how you figured it out, and what you do to try to protect yourself in the face of it with that understanding. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful day. Bye.